Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to get into something pretty specialized, the actual engineering behind a huge AV problem.
Yeah, we're talking about how you get pristine video, like 4K video, across massive distances in big venues without, any lag or jitter.
Exactly. And we're going to focus on one very specific piece of hardware that does this, the WolfPack 4K30 HDBaseT Output Card.
It's a one-port card, but it's really the workhorse for these big modular matrix systems, the 9x9s, 18x18s, even the huge 36x36 switchers.
So our mission today is really to get past the spec sheet. We want to unpack the actual technical nuts and bolts here.
We want to understand what gives it that performance edge for installers and, for the audience in the end.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Its main job is to send HDMI signals over standard network cable, right? CT6 or CT7.
Right, and the range is what's immediately impressive.
But what are we talking numbers-wise?
For 4K resolution at 30 frames, it can push that signal up to 175 feet.
175 feet. Okay, that's not bad.
But then if you drop the resolution to a standard 1080p, that distance just explodes. You get up to 330 feet.
Wow. Okay, 330 feet, that's the length of a football field. But I think the real story here is the speed, right? The latency.
Oh, absolutely. That is the silent killer in any system like this.
They're advertising it as virtually zero latency. I mean, what does that actually mean?
It means it's less than 7 microseconds. That's 0.0000007 seconds over the full 330-foot run.
That's basically instant.
It is. And that's why this tech is so critical for, say, a church or a big corporate auditorium. It's the reason the speaker's lips are perfectly in sync with the audio you're hearing, even if you're hundreds of feet away.
So you don't need to manually compensate for any kind of timing delays.
You don't. It just works. And on top of that, you're not losing quality. It supports 48-bit deep color 3D.
And all the advanced audio formats like 7.1 Dolby and DTS HD.
All of it. The full package.
Okay, so the speed is solved. But what about reliability? In these big mission-critical installs, a failure can be a disaster.
Well, that's where the modular design is so clever. The whole matrix is built on these individual one-port cards.
Right.
So if one output port fails, you don't have to rip out the whole expensive matrix. You just swap out that one single card.
So the system stays online. That's a huge deal for resilience.
A huge deal.
Now, what about the other big headache for installers? Signal handshaking. I see it as built-in ED and DDC management.
Yes, and that prevents all the confusion between the source device and the screen. The card basically tells the Blu-ray player, or whatever it is, exactly what kind of screen it's talking to.
So you always get the right format.
Every single time. And even better, you can actually turn the HDCP 1.4 copy protection on or off for an output.
Wait, why would you do that?
It lets you send a protected source to an older TV that isn't HDCP compliant. It's a lifesaver when you're dealing with legacy gear.
That's a really smart feature, and I hear they're pretty serious about quality control on these.
Oh, yeah. Every card goes through a 24-hour aging process, then final testing in QC. They're built to last.
Okay, so the hardware is solid. Let's pivot to the control side, the intelligence. You have the standard stuff, right? Front panel, web to UI.
Sure, and the free iOS and Android apps.
Right.
But for a professional integrator, the real power is in the pre-built drivers.
For the big automation system.
Exactly. They have optional drivers for Control4, URC, Crestron, basically every major ecosystem. It makes sophisticated automation almost plug and play.
And for the programmers doing custom work, I found a really interesting nugget. The RS-232 scripting is incredibly simple.
It's just so direct, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no complex software. Like, if you want to switch input 8 to, say, 3 different outputs, 1, 8, and 16, the command is literally just 8 by 1 and 8 and 16. That's it.
So simple. So to kind of wrap this all up, what we have here is a card that combines that modular resilience, for long-term reliability.
Right, with the professional-grade control.
And that sub-microsecond speed over huge distances, which guarantees perfect AV sync.
It really covers all the bases. So here's something to think about. Given how simple and powerful that custom RS-232 script is, how does that kind of accessible proprietary control change the calculation, both budget and time for pros planning these huge AV installations?
That is a great question to mull over.
And one last thing, that final piece of assurance. Every card comes with a 2-year WolfPack Care Advanced Replace Limited Warranty.
Which means they'll send a replacement unit out within 24 hours if a problem is verified. That's real peace of mind.